If you resell luxury items like handbags, watches, clothing, etc., there is a very good chance that you will run into policy issues with Google if you run Google advertising for your website. And that is because there are so many scammers and counterfeiters in this space that Google has to be very paranoid and trigger happy about suspending accounts because they're trying to protect people from those scammers and counterfeiters. And so I'm going to walk you through what we've learned here at StubGroup from working with quite a few businesses in this space, strategies to prevent or increase the likelihood of preventing a suspension, as well as to fix a suspension if it occurs. So let's talk through a couple of red flags that make it more likely that Google will flag you in this space. So red flag number one is that your prices are too low. Google is looking at the map prices for different products. And if they see that you are charging 10% of the map price for a product, that is going to look very sketchy to Google. And it's very, very likely that they're going to flag you because something seems off about that. So as you set the prices for what you're selling, be very aware of that and be aware that the greater the delta between the normal price for a product and the price you are charging, the more likely Google's going to flag that as being suspicious. Red flag number two is if you don't have information on your website about how you authenticate that the products that you are selling are actually genuine. Again, this comes down to the counterfeit issue. And a lot of the suspensions we see in this space are for Google's counterfeit goods policy, where Google thinks that you're selling counterfeit goods, not the real thing. So you want to make very clear through your website the process that you take to confirm that what you are selling is legitimately from the brand that it's purported to be. So if you resell Chanel bags, you should have authentication about how you, or information about how you authenticate that. Whether you're purchasing that directly from the manufacturer, whether you're purchasing that from third parties, whether you have a physical store where people come in and sell their things to you, you need to make it very clear how you authenticate what you're selling. Red flag number three is if your website doesn't look professional. So a lot of these, scammers, pop-up shops that are just trying to make a quick buck, they don't have a website that looks very good. And Google understands that. And so Google is looking at your website as one of its methods for determining how legitimate you are. And so if you've got, spelling errors, placeholder text, you're missing policy pages, you have poor navigation, or just things that look weird or off, those are going to be red flags to Google to say, maybe these people are not a legitimate business. Red flag number four is a lack of reviews. Google is also looking at your online reputation to see whether or not you are trustworthy. And so if you have no online reputation, if you have no reviews, if you haven't claimed your website in reviews platforms, or of course, if you have negative reviews, that's even worse, that's going to be a problem. And so you really need to concentrate on getting real, legitimate reviews from customers. Don't go and buy fake reviews. That's also a problem. You should only get reviews from real customers. And I understand that can be hard if you're just starting out and you don't have customers yet, and you're trying to use Google to get customers. There's a little bit of a chicken and egg situation, but the more you can do to get true, legitimate, verified reviews online, especially via the review platforms that Google particularly likes, the better that's going to make your website look in Google's eyes. And then if you are suspended, I'm sorry, because that is a very unfortunate situation. I know how frustrating that is. But when you work with Google, again, really focus on the authentication side of things, proving to Google that you are a legitimate reseller and how you get the products that you are reselling. And we've got various kind of templates and guides and things we put together on our end that we have found be successful, increase the likelihood of success when proving those things to Google. So if you would like help with your situation, please reach out through StubGroup.com. We'd be happy to figure out what's going on in your unique situation and hopefully appeal it successfully with Google and get your ads back online.